Do you have spray foam insulation in your attic? Are you thinking of adding spray foam insulation? Before you make a decision on having spray foam insulation installed on your home, you must watch this video and get a better understanding of what spray foam can do to your existing asphalt shingles. If you already have spray foam insulation and are constantly battling missing shingles, I'll also show you what you could do to save your roof, saving you from a costly roof replacement. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you, the future homeowner, how you could potentially get a brand new roof installed for free at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Thank you for tuning in to our channel, Aurum Roofing, at aurumroofing.com, the gold standard in roofing. My name is Jose, and today we are going to cover a very important topic: spray foam insulation and the effects it has on asphalt shingles. As a professional roofing expert, I feel it's my obligation to give you my thoughts and opinions on the subject we are about to cover. But before we get started, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel for all your instructional roofing how-tos and roofing information. Okay, so before we dive into this, I want to give you a bit of a basic background of spray foam and how it all started. Spray foam insulation has been around since the 1950s, but in the 1970s, or better known as the energy crisis, us as Americans started understanding the importance of energy efficiency for our homes, the effects it has on the environment, and our pockets. We as Americans have experimented in countless ways of making our homes more energy efficient, from double pane windows, argon gas windows, low E door seals, from batten insulation to spray foam insulation. Although spray foam has been around since the 1950s, spray foam insulation has really taken off these past 10 to 15 years. Most builders have picked up on this growing trend on building homes as efficient as possible by using spray foam insulation over typical insulation used from before. Spray foam insulation is a liquid chemical that once it's applied, it turns into an expanding foam material, sealing all the contacted areas, making it quite airtight, no air in and no air out. Spray foam is normally sprayed on the underside of the plywood decking, directly on the underside of the shingles. As we all know, this material is so effective. We use it in so many daily items, it's almost impossible to name them all. From your coffee mugs, to your soft drink coolers, to your cars, and now even houses. I mean, it seems like everyone is jumping on this wagon. Here in my area, the Central Texas area, if you've purchased a new home within the last 10 years, it's more than likely it came with spray foam insulation, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, but these newer homes have been the ones that have been keeping us the busiest, most commonly blowing shingles. Remember, spray foam is effective on all sorts of things, but not on roofs. It takes the integrity so much away from the shingles, and I'm about to show you why. So what I am doing here today, guys, is I am taking you on two different roofs. One with spray foam insulation and the other with non-spray foam insulation. Both of these roofs are asphalt shingle roofs. And what I am doing is I am just going to compare the two roofs, the condition that they're in, and the effects that they have from spray foam insulation. Both of these roofs are about the same age. They're both about 5 years old. One thing that I want you to keep in mind is I've watched other YouTube videos on spray foam insulation and what they have to say and their opinions, but none of these actually take you on the roof and actually show you what we see, what I'm about to show you. So keep that in mind. I'm not quoting any fancy universities or research doctors that may have, done experiments on these things. This is actually what we as roofers see out in the field while we're out in actual real customers' houses. These are the effects that we see, and I want to share that with you to help you make a better decision and understand the effects that spray foam actually has on your asphalt shingles. The first roof we are on is the roof with spray foam insulation. What I'm pointing out to you is what a professional sees that you may not from the floor. This may seem okay, but let's go up and get a closer look. These tabs you see me lifting are the ones I was pointing at from the ground. What you are seeing now are the after effects of spray foam insulation. By no means is this in any way normal. These tabs are all supposed to be sealed to the shingle underneath. You will see how this entire roof has this problem. Asphalt shingles do this when there is a lack of attic ventilation. This is the biggest problem I have with spray foam, is that it doesn't allow for any attic ventilation. Your attic is supposed to be sealed of any air intake or air exhaust. What this does is that it pretty much bakes your shingles because they are absorbing 100% of the sun's heat. I like to compare it to taking a slice of bologna and placing it over a hot skillet. The slice is going to obviously contract and curl. That's the same concept with your shingles, all because of lack of ventilation. You will also notice me finding the tabs that are completely loose and free of any adhesive. The loose ones at some point were lifted from the corners, similar to what you're noticing. What's going to happen is that over time, the rest of the seal on all these lifted tabs will eventually also wear off and get completely free of its existing seal. Some of these tabs are about 50% gone. The seals are. If you're thinking the remaining 50% seal is going to take or last the same amount of time it took to wear off the first 50%, you are completely wrong. It's actually going to wear off even faster because now that it's curled and lifted, it allows for air to get in and speed up the detachment. Remember, the purpose of the seal is to keep the shingles airtight and stuck to each other. With the broken seal, winds, low or high winds, they don't have to be that strong, will find their way under your shingles and cause them to blow off. When wind hits these loose tabs, they are naturally going to start flapping up and down until eventually they break off. Similar to a paper clip, you are only allowed to bend it a certain amount of times before it breaks. Now, what boggles my mind is that you would think your builder should have known this, but most of the time, because of a sweet bulk deal they may have gotten with their chosen manufacturers, they installed inappropriate shingles for your home. But luckily for them, they only warranty their new homes for only about a year or two. And these symptoms, most of the time, appear a little bit after that. So, you may ask yourself, are asphalt shingles okay to be installed over spray foam insulated attics? Yes, of course they are, but not all shingle brands. Keep in mind, most manufacturers void the warranty on the product for spray foam insulated or non-ventilated attics. To my knowledge, there are only 2 manufacturers of the many out there that allow for non-ventilated install or spray foam attics. So keep this in mind before you start a warranty claim. The manufacturer, a regional rep, will 100% check with certainty for insulation and ventilation. And if they see these issues are the reason for the problem and their manufacturer states clearly they do not warranty it, guess who's on the hook for that? You are.
One thing that I want to just throw out there is that we completely void our labor warranty if spray foam was installed after we installed your roof. The reason why is because we may have not installed the appropriate shingles for spray foam insulation. The shingles that are recommended for spray foam are not more expensive, are not better, they're just qualified for spray foam insulation. These two manufacturers are not better than any other manufacturers out there. They are just the only two that I know of that are willing to take on that risk for asphalt shingle warranty.
So you also may ask yourself, what manufacturers are these? Well, I cannot answer that for you. That is a question that you will have to ask your roofer from your area, because the shingles that are made here in Texas are not made the same like the ones that are made in Minneapolis. All regions are made to cater to their areas. What I will say is that if you're thinking of replacing your roof and have either type of insulation, and your roofer does not question or go into the attic to check for insulation, it should be a big red flag, because it's telling you that obviously they simply don't care, because the roof will look great as soon as it's completed. A few years from now, well, I mean, they might not even be around to even care or to even stick around and see what happens. Or they may also not even be aware of this fact, which should not qualify them for you to hire on your roof. You may also ask yourself, well, my roof is not that old and it's still in good shape. Should I install spray foam? Well, only if the shingle brands that are on your roof now are appropriate for spray foam. If not, no. Or only if you are willing to replace a brand new roof within the next few years. You may also ask yourself, well, man, unfortunately, I was one of the victims and I do not want to have to replace my roof. It still looks pretty new. I feel like I can still salvage it. What can I do to help save me from having to replace the roof? Well, I have an answer for that too. Let's do the blower test. In the blower test, notice how I am using a battery powered handheld blower. I'm not using a super mega strong high powered wind blower. I want to simulate your daily wind on a normal day. So what you do is you just blow the shingles, and once you notice some tabs that are loose that are coming up, you want to mark those with a piece of chalk and walk your entire roof, and all the tabs that you see that are flapping, mark them with the chalk. Once you're all done, come back with some caulking and seal those tabs back up, because obviously that seal is not good anymore, so you need to reapply it with new seal. That is the only way that you can still salvage your roof. It's not going to take the curling away. The shingles are still gonna have that a lifted corner, but they're not gonna blow off.
This is the non-spray foam attic roof. On this one, I'm not going to spend as much time on this roof because obviously the roof is a lot different. It's a way different situation. Your tabs here, you can tell that they're all sealed the way they're supposed to be. They're not curling, they're not lifted. I'm putting the blower in many areas and testing them, and all the shingles are intact. They're not flapping up and down. So you could also tell that the shingle color on the spray foam attic roof was a little bit more on the gray side. This one is more on the blue side. So that's how we're going to be able to compare the two. Like, as you can see, this roof is pretty much in perfect shape.
Okay, so here we go. How to get a brand new roof installed for free. First off, I want to tell you, if you jumped all the way to the end just to hear this, it's not going to make sense. You're not going to understand what we're talking about. I recommend you go all the way back, listen through the video, and actually know what we're talking about before you just jump into this conclusion. For you that actually has stuck and listened through this entire video, I know it took a while. It's a long video, but I want to thank you for that. And this will make sense for you. So, first off, let's say that you are considering buying a house. It may be a brand new house, it may not be brand new, you may be the second or the third owner, but you do know that your house has spray foam insulation. The way that you know your house, the potential house that you're going to buy, has spray foam insulation, just pretty much just ask your inspector. Say, hey, what type of insulation does it have? And if that person tells you, well, this house has spray foam insulation, well, you should have your eyes and ears wide open for that, because you want to make sure that the shingles, the roof, the brand, the manufacturer that is on that roof is proper and recommended for spray foam attic insulation install. If it is not, do not buy it, or make your seller replace that roof with the right and proper shingles for your home. You are not gonna buy a sports car with mud tires, right? The same thing with the roof. You want to buy your house with the proper roof for its insulation. You want to make sure that you have it the way it should be. If it has spray foam, use spray foam recommended shingles. If it does not, then it really doesn't matter. But make sure you have the proper roof for your house. If not, do not buy the house. And if it does, make them replace it for free at no cost. If not, hey, just say, you know what? I'm going to walk away. I'm not buying this house. And I guarantee you, most of the time, they will replace that roof for you at no cost. Even a builder will too. If it's a brand new house, a builder will also say, you know what, I'm going to replace it. Just don't tell nobody. This is for you.